All right, let's do it live on a Friday edition, a Football Friday. We are heading to Vegas to take on the Raiders on Sunday. I am merely Bo. He is the great Z. You look great.
Thank you. You do too. By the way, I don't often like to start the show by tooting our own horn, but I mean, I think I may have gotten the score exact yesterday when I did the setup.
I was
for the
yelling
Thursday
at
night
you
game.
to go, 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 so I don't even remember what you said.
I think I said that Danny Dimes is, they're going to lose, but I think they're going to lose by 5.
I think they're going to lose by 5.
And that's exactly what happened.
And that's exactly what happened.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You saw, I mean, the way that these games are played. What part of this do you want to do? You want to do, let's do this. Let's do our injury report first.
Okay, fine.
Because we do have some news of the day.
Because that was positive. I wanted to start
one
positive
thing. It's a good job.
You're welcome.
Glass is half full. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Injury report is not great. Conklin, Wills, Chief, Pierre Strong, they're all out. Jordan Hicks did not return to practice today, so that would be
But he's questionable.
A new designation from what we've seen, right?
Is he questionable, Gibby?
I don't know, Gibby. Why'd you put your hand up? Go, Gibby.
He did return.
He did
it say did not?
Oh, did return. Did return.
We're back.
We're back, baby.
Browns by $1 billion.
All right.
That's all you need. Jordan Hicks did return to practice. The other guys were all out. I was curious about the 2 tackles. That was what I was curious about, and now we know that we will have neither one in the game on Sunday.
No, we will not, but that's how we played the beginning. So my guess is you'll have DeJuan Jones on one side and James Hudson on the other. And then you'll keep, Bitonio, Posick, and Zach Zinter in at right guard for Wyatt Teller. I think that's kind of where this squad is at. It's got to be better. This is a very important game. And right now, a lot is going to depend on 2 things, the play of the offensive line and the play of the quarterback.
Yep.
And if those 2 play well, we'll win this game.
Couple of Raiders injury notes. Devontae Adams popped up on their injury report late. This was yesterday, limited hamstring for him, and then Max Crosby did not practice for the second straight day. But I listening to we had to Horowitz on yesterday. He says like Crosby's going to be like Miles, like I'll be there on game day type situations.
Yeah, I'm not expecting him to miss that game. Adams is a little bit more interesting because a midweek ad for a hamstring could indicate that you pulled the hamstring in practice and then you are not available. But we'll have to keep a look at that. And we probably won't know. We'll get their injury report much later today, and then we'll have an idea, obviously, when the actives and inactives come out an hour and a half before kickoff on Sunday. Devontae would be a big loss. Max Crosby, he's going to play. He's a stud. Divine Diablo, I think, will still be out for them. He was out last week as well. They've got some good players. Browns are a better team. They just have to go out there and be the better team. They can do that. No problem. You get to 2-2, right where you need to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's such the difference. It's like what Dallas did last night, right? Dallas's lone win was against us. They were housed twice at home.
Yep.
They go on the road, and they handle their business. It wasn't necessarily aesthetically pleasing. I was hoping at some point they could cover Malik Neighbors just a little bit. It was just stupefying on the 4th down that they gave him the slant. Like, it's 4th and 3, and you're giving him the slant.
I don't understand.
What are you doing? Just put somebody else over there. Why did the linebacker not drop into that zone? Why not bracket him top and bottom, for God's sakes?
Or even go do the one where you line up where he's there, and then you have a 2 right in front of him. So he can't go in, he can't go out. There's nowhere for him to go.
Nowhere for him to go.
And just say the ball's got to go somewhere else.
We dare you.
I mean, look, I know that we've talked about double teaming a lot. It's not something the Browns do very often. I have a great deal of respect for Bill Belichick. And when you watch the Manning-cast, when a team has a stud receiver, especially on a 3rd or 4th down red zone, you double him.
Yep.
Make him throw it to somebody else.
That's crazy.
Make him throw it to somebody else. Wandale Robinson caught 11 passes, but I think they're for like 6 yards a catch.
They're all underneath. It's nothing.
It was nuts.
Yeah. No, Neighbors is a total stud.
He's a monster.
He really is. Yeah. There's a Justin Jefferson-like impact immediately out of him that is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something else. And then he leaves with a concussion at the end, which just sucks. But like on that drive where they picked up the 4th down in the 4th quarter that led to the field goal to make it 20-15, they threw to him 4 straight throws.
Yes.
And it was like, at any point, are we going to adjust if you're Dallas and cover him with more than one human? Diggs can't do it by himself. That's been established. But you go back to the well too many times, and now you get him concussed.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just one of those kind of freak things on the sidelines. I think he'll be fine. The good news is because of the Thursday night game, they got 10 days to get him ready. He tweeted out or put on Instagram this morning that he's fine with a picture of him smiling.
Oh, good to hear.
So that is good to hear. Yeah, he's fun to watch. He is a special player. I also learned last night that when you say that somebody is the vomit emoji, that's a positive thing. I thought at first maybe
Wait.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Okay, hold on.
Hey, how did the I was at tryouts, so I missed the first 3 quarters of this game, or 2.5 quarters.
So this Odell posted this
Did
yesterday.
the signs work?
No, the signs didn't work because Neighbors didn't score. Odell, it's this one right there. So I read that, and I saw Odell tweet it out. He said, "I know I'm not saying nothing we don't all know, but Malik Neighbors is the vomit emoji. ...
I would assume that's a negative connotation.
Yeah, like that he stinks.
Yeah.
G-Man, Jordan, you guys are
The vomit
more youthful.
emoji is good. Your
good?
kids, you're from a generation younger than us.
Vomit emoji is good.
What does it
What
mean?
does it mean?
He's saying he's
sick?
gross. He's nasty.
Oh, he's nasty.
I took it as he sucked.
When I first read it,
Jordan took it.
Jordan
as
might
he
be a little older than the G-Man.
Yeah.
though.
I realized pretty quickly from the responses to him, there for every one response that was like, "What are you saying? He's great." There were 100 being like, "Respect, yeah, game recognized game," and all this stuff. So
Okay.
I
So-
quickly realized that was good. But I did not know that.
If it means he's scary, like I've heard the kids say that before, like he's gross, like he's so good, he's
Oh, he's so
gross,
nasty. He's
like
filthy.
nasty, filthy, all of that.
Yeah.
But I would, or scary, even maybe a scary emoji. I don't know if the vomit emoji
never
is
heard
the
he's
one you're
nauseous.
looking for.
That dude
He's
is
nauseous.
nauseous.
No, that doesn't seem so. The one that I like the most is the one where you feel like you've just had your legs taken out. That's the Jim Carrey one from Dumb and Dumber, when he almost is going to.
Yeah.
That's my favorite of those. But we'll see. So no, I did not know that either. I had no point of reference.
Me neither.
On that being a positive thing. I'll run it by the boys and see what they think of it.
But so we learned it.
We learned it. Yeah, those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Fill your game day cooler with refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, smooth real brewed tea with 5% kick of alcohol. Look for the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea, keep it twisted. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. Coming up next, Coach Stefanski from last night, also Amari as well, Amari from the Coach Stefanski Show last night. Coming up next, we're off and running on a Football Friday. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily. And now here is Z with Amari Cooper from last night's Kevin Stefanski Show.
Very happy to be joined now by
You're done.
wide receiver Amari Cooper. And Amari, you had kind of talked last week, I thought, so introspectively about kind of your struggles over the first 2 weeks. And you wanted to come out, obviously, and put a better performance forward. And boy, did you do that. 7 catches, over 80 yards, the 2 touchdowns. And it came right out on play 1. How important was it to you to kind of get going early in that game, and you were able to do just that?
Yeah, that was the emphasis coming from Coach Stefanski, was to start fast and carry on, to continue on fast. So, that's kind of what we did. We kind of stifled after that in terms of our expectations and what we want to do and on our offense. At the end of the day, the Giants played well. Our defense held them. I don't think they scored after halftime, so we definitely had ample opportunity to make something happen, and we just came up short. So.
When you went back and watched the film, what changed from the early success that you guys had in that game as the game wore on?
We just didn't take advantage of the opportunity that we was presented with. Obviously they did some things on defense. They blitzed a lot. They had a very good defensive line, and they just outplayed us, to be honest. But looking back on it, once we went back to the drawing board, there are definitely some opportunities that we would implement going forward because, like Coach said, teams aren't going to stop doing that to us. So we just have to find a way to combat it.
Right, the book is out. You're going to get blitzed a lot. They're going to run a lot of twists and stunts up front. The blitzes, those present big opportunities for big plays, right? And that's just something that you've got to be able to capitalize on. Is that a real point of emphasis this week? Because the Giants, you correctly point out, going into the game had not blitzed much, and then they blitzed over half of the snaps. The Raiders, they've been blitzing all season long. That's just who they are.
Yeah, it's just like anything else in life, when you're presented with pressure, it's pressure, what I mean? A lot of people fold under it, but it also presents a hell of an opportunity. So we'll be looking to take advantage of the opportunities going forward.
All right, let's talk about your opening touchdown there. You got man basically on the outside. I don't know if they're in cover 3 or if it was man, but the principles are the same, one-on-one with him up there. You got the good release. Did you think when you were tracking that ball you were not only able to catch it, but that you were able to catch it and get in bounds? Because there was not a lot of room over there. That was an incredible play.
Yeah. When the ball's in there, I'm always thinking I'm going to catch it and come down with it, especially on big plays like that. I try my hardest to come down with it because I know what a opportunity it is and how it can help the team. So there was no doubt that I would come down and make that play. Obviously, we knew what the first play was going to be. On Friday, Deshaun texted me and was like, "Hey, let's get started fast. This is the first play. Let's come down with it." So I had to, yeah.
Is it helpful sometimes when you're going through something for you uncharacteristic, right, with a couple of the balls that went through your hands in the first 2 weeks, and you talked about that, to have it be such a contested catch because you're not thinking about anything, right? You know what I mean? It's almost kind of like it happens so fast it just becomes reactionary. Your instincts and the greatness of your hands and your ability to get those contested catches comes through.
Wait, what's the question?
Does it help sometimes when you're going through something like that where, you're not just sitting there wide open waiting for the ball. You're kind of battling, and it's one of the things where it's more instinct than where your brain can't really get involved in it.
I have never really thought about that. I would say so, yeah, because it helps with the concentration, but it's like you said, it's unconscious concentration, I would say. So yeah, when you put it like that, I think it does, yeah.
All right, I want to go to the second touchdown because I was giddy in the booth calling that one. It reminded me so much of a route you ran against the Houston Texans on your record-setting day last Christmas Eve. You watched the pre-snap, right? He's 3 yards inside of you playing that inside leverage. Like, there is no way that you're supposed to cross that guy's face on the touchdown at the goal line. Yeah. No, the second one. He has one job right there. Do not let you to the inside. You go out there like you're walking out. It's just a run play. You have the heavy personnel. I'm not even into it. Then you give him the one step that makes you think maybe I lulled you to sleep because I'm going to run a fade to the back corner. You get him to jump 2 yards over to his right, and then you cross his face for the touchdown. Number one, how did you even conceive of running that route that way? And we talked about, I know you did it in Houston, but just take me through pre-snap and what your thought process was when you saw where he was initially lined up to take away what you were trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I just want to say, I think, not just with myself, but just evaluating receivers, I think that's the hallmark of a good route runner. someone who can understand that the leverage that the defender is trying to protect and still find a way to get there anyway. That's the mind game. That's the deception. That's the art of route running and getting to the spot that you want to get to. It's almost like basketball, with Jordan and Kobe and all the greats. They know what spot they want to shoot from, and they're gonna get there regardless. So yeah, that was. I think I definitely know how to get to my mark. Especially when a guy, I don't know, that's something I've always been good at. If a guy is taking away something, I know how to get there, because if he's taking away one thing, that means he's scared. He's really scared for you not to go that way, if that makes sense, because he knows what he's protecting and he knows what he's giving up. So if you have a route, for example, opposite of the leverage he's trying to take away, he's going to rush to that spot if he thinks you're going opposite of what he's trying to take away. And so that's what I was trying to sell with that quick instinctive move. I was trying to sell a fade. It's like, yo, you're giving me the fade.
I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, I'm going to take it. And so that quick step right there, that's what makes him panic, because he's like, yo, I'm giving away the fade. Is he really running the fade? And I have to go and play this fade. And I just slipped inside. So I know it was long-winded and
No, that is the art. I love that answer. So when you practiced that play, did you practice it with kind of that lull to sleep walkout, or was that just when you saw where he was aligned, you said, you know what, let me pull that one out of the back pocket and give that kind of lull to sleep? You have a heavy formation. It's the hard play action away from you. So I can convincingly tell him, I'm not running a route. I don't care about this play.
Yeah, it's actually one of the routes where we have a lot of leeway on. It is a slant, but it's a slant that you take your time on. You kind of come off like you're blocking, or you really have a lot of leeway to play with the route. You just have to beat him inside and get open, because you do have a little bit of time with the play fake.
Yep.
So coach kind of just lets us play with it a little bit. You can come off and act like you're blocking, whatever, but you have to win inside, because it's usually like a goal line play like that, or like a short yardage play. So they're looking for you to win and get a couple yards on that play. So I didn't practice it like that this week, because I didn't have that look, that exaggerated look like he was playing. But I knew how to run a route versus what he was doing. Not saying I was 100% confident that it was going to work, but I believe that was the best way to do it, given the leverage that I see.
Do you kind of under your breath when you hit that step and you saw his reaction, do you kind of think in your mind, got him?
Oh, that's every receiver with every time he sticks and he head fakes an opposite way, and as soon as the DB bites on it, that's like the what do you call it, the that moment right there, that
Euphoria.
Yeah, that whatever you call it. Yeah. So yeah, definitely when he bit, I'm like, because it was a touchdown, so I'm like, oh yeah, got him.
And you most certainly did. Great route, obviously, and great catch there. You were going against the young guy in Deontay Banks, first-round pick of theirs a year ago. Your experience, so we went in the film room. We have a segment called X's and Joe's that we do, and Joe Hayden and I were breaking that route down, and he just was like laughing. He couldn't believe what he goes, that is, you use the word too, which is funny. You both use it. That is the art of playing wide receiver right there, and you're using what somebody is trying to do against them. Yeah. It's magical. Did he say anything to you afterwards? Like, okay, you got me today, but you gave him a lot to think about, I think, going forward as he evolves in his career.
No, actually, he was actually a good player. He defended a lot of my routes pretty well. Some that were thrown to me, some that weren't.
A bunch of tough catches.
Yeah, and he made me make a lot of tough catches. I actually walked away from the game saying, hey, this is a good corner. He's young. Obviously, he still has stuff to work on, but he can be a really good corner in my opinion, because it wasn't easy at all. So much respect to him. I definitely walked away from the game and said, you know what, this is a young guy who I definitely have some respect for. So, but as far as your question, no, he didn't say anything, because I don't really talk to corners during the game unless I really know them. You know what I mean? So, we didn't communicate like that.
All right, for you, going back to play the Raiders, you've never gotten to play against the Raiders. They were the team that drafted you when you were at Dallas. You were on the COVID list, didn't play in that game. Does it feel like you're playing the Raiders even though you're going to Las Vegas as opposed to Oakland, or would it be maybe a much different feel for you if you were going back into the black hole, into Oakland where you played?
See, I played in the black hole. I've never even been to Vegas, so I don't think it necessarily would feel the same. It won't, because I didn't play there. Like, it won't have the same aura to it. like a guy coming back to the team that drafted him and coming back to play in the same place that he played at.
Right.
It doesn't have that feel, and it's so far removed. It's 6 years removed from when I departed from the Raiders. It honestly doesn't feel like a revenge game or anything like that. And I don't even know any of the players there. None of those guys who are on that team were there when I was there. I don't think one guy.
You probably have more guys that you played with on the Raiders on your team now than are on the Raiders.
Yeah. So it doesn't feel like that, but you never know until you get there. You know what I mean? You never know until you're on the field, and you never know. So
They're pretty good uniforms, though. I mean, you played for 3 teams in the National Football League. You played with 3 pretty iconic uniforms: the Raiders, the Cowboys, and the Browns.
yeah, that's what I always say. Grateful for the opportunities that I've had. Just the fan bases, the history of the teams that I've played for, definitely have rich histories. So, yeah, I'm content with the organizations that I've played for, yeah, for sure.
All right, I'll get you out of here on this one. So much has been made about, can this offense kind of find its identity? Can it find its rhythm? You've been, as we talked about, in multiple franchises. You've gone through multiple seasons and ebbs and flows in all of those different franchises. How confident are you that this team can kind of get this offense going? So much talent out there. It feels like it's inevitable.
Yeah, I'm very confident. It actually starts with practice. It starts with what we just finished today. All it takes is a little bit of momentum, and the momentum is created when you execute plays. That's how you get on a roll. That's how it's just like with anything else. Anything else you do in life, once you get on a roll, you start to have that momentum, and then that's where the confidence comes from. So we have to take practice seriously. We have to execute. And it'll show up on game days, and then we'll get the ball rolling and go from there.
Amari, thank you so much for the time. Congrats on the 2 touchdowns last week. Looking forward to more against the Raiders.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, good stuff with Amari and Z there. And, yes, unlocking this passing game will be the job, certainly on Sunday. My hunch is, though, Gibby, that what we'll see offensively is a return to form and a return to the roots for Kevin Stefanski, and that the run game, getting that going early, will kind of be the key to where we are. Let's think about what we did in Jacksonville. You think about the way Foreman played in that game, the physical pound run, and then it gives a chance for that RPO game to get going, those slants to be hit. Those are easy layups for Deshaun in the game in Jacksonville, and my hunch is that's the way they'll start things on Sunday.
Yeah, I just feel like you need, even if Foreman only gives you 30 to 50 yards rushing, it's that ground and pound where he's just making contact and bruising people that forces that defense in. And then with the Jerome Ford speed around the ends, you hopefully get a little something going that opens this up, because you've got to take the pressure off of that offensive line. I think the offensive line next to Watson's play is probably the biggest X factor. Like, those guys played really well in that second half last week.
They did, and the thing that's tough. So we mentioned Foreman. So in the Giants and Cowboys game, a total of 2 carries. He had 2 against the Giants, none against the Cowboys in Week 1. I know that he missed a blitz pickup in the game against the Giants, and the coaches were not exactly pleased on that front. But at the same time, in the game against Jacksonville, if you didn't watch the game, you would look at it and go, not very effective, 14 for 42, 3 yards a carry. But it's what you said, Gibby, that is critical, and this is what he brought. It's the physicality. You have to pay the price to tackle him. It wears linebackers out.
Yeah.
And what he did was, by hitting them with him in the game against Jacksonville, then you could come back and you could have some success with Jerome Ford. So I think that's kind of part of it. The other thing you mentioned on the offensive line, now that we know the tackles are out, so it'll be Posick, it'll be Zinner at right guard, it'll be Thanos at tackle, and then on this side it'll be Bitonio and Hudson. So what'll be interesting there is Ethan Posick in the center, who actually played a little better last week at guard than he did at center. Can he bounce back from what's been a soft start? Zinter was awesome Week 1. And thrust into duty last week. Can the rookie out of Michigan kind of continue that playing right guard in the game against the Raiders? And then how do DeWand and Hudson hold up against Crosby and the outside pass rushers? That's really going to be kind of the key to this thing. But the other thing you said that I think is really important, I do think it marries into the comments I'm making about what I think we'll see offensively. The easiest thing to do for an offensive lineman is to run block. All you're doing is blowing up the person in front of you, right? Unless it's a pull or a trap. Everybody says it. Everybody knows it. So get these guys pushing forward, get that push, and then get the run game going off of it, and then the pass game opens up on top.
I agree. I just you have got to give your quarterback a chance. You've got to get your offensive lineman a chance. And if the defense has to pull back a little bit because they don't know what you're doing, or they're even remotely, if we can get them on their heels, we can do whatever we want on Sunday. I'm a firm believer in that. I think if you have to go jumbo and Nick Harris has to come in and be your sixth offensive lineman, great. I'm interested if we elevate any of these tackles we signed the other day. We signed two of them. I mean, clearly Hudson's dinged up. DeJuan has missed parts of the last two games. Remember, Jacksonville, he had to come out. Like he was out for almost 2.5 quarters. So you're going to need some depth to tackle. What is the game plan? Are these guys up to speed?
Who is our swing? Would Ifedi be our swing tackle?
Yeah.
DeJuan and Hudson.
Unless you're going to start Ifedi and Hudson becomes your swing.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like they trust Hudson a little bit more.
Yeah, I would think so.
So then Ifedi'd be up, and then Harris would be up, and then you got to have another guard center-ish up. I mean, we may need to have 9. Yeah, I don't know. That's could be Michael Dunn. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I thought it was interesting that Kadarius Toney practiced today. Where'd that come from?
Yeah,
that bears a little watching as well. So you can elevate. I believe you can elevate 2 players, and then you could sign players off of the practice squad officially, but then they have to remain on your roster. We did that last week, but I mean, what players are they going to elevate, and who's going to be active, and who's not going to be active?
This offensive line thing is not great, man. I mean, you heard from Jed Wills earlier in the week about how no further structural damage. The MRI came back clean, but at the same time, down again. What did he play for? A half of football? Missed all of camp. Played for a half. Like we're starting to get into it here, man. Like we need him to get healthy, and it's no fault of his own, but we need him to get healthy. Need him to play. Because being down already, what we're down on the offensive front with Wyatt and Jack and Jed Wills, that's not a recipe for long-term success. You can do it for a while if your quarterback play is excellent, if your offensive play calling marries what your quarterback wants to do. The example I'm giving, of course, is the Rams. They're piecemealing it together, but for how long? It's not sustainable.
So you brought up an interesting point. I just wonder if it makes sense to totally revamp the line here and go Harris at center and Posick at guard, and Zinter is your swing, and then when you go big, he's your big on the end.
Well, Nick Harris was really good at center last week.
I thought he played great.
So if Nick Harris comes in as your center, then the question is Posick a better – so when that happened, Posick went to left guard, Bitonio went to left tackle, where, again, he played really well, but I don't think Joel wants to be out there at this stage in his career. So that will be interesting how that kind of works. The other thing, remember in the Jacksonville game, Nick Harris came in a lot and went in motion as a 6th offensive lineman. So if that's the case, will we see that attack again in Las Vegas on Sunday night by the time we get there? 4:25 on the kick on that, as a reminder. So that's something to pay a little bit of attention to as this thing starts to go along too, in terms of how it's deployed. Can he honestly risk playing 6 offensive linemen knowing our situation? Because now everybody who's playing is invaluable. There's nobody behind them anymore.
Correct.
It's gone. So that's tough. That part of it's tough. Now, this defensive front, there are 2 studs and one of them's wounded. So Max Crosby's wounded. He's going to play. It's a Miles-type situation. He's going to play, but he's not what he typically is. So that could help. And Christian Wilkins is there too. So that's kind of where you are heading into this one.
Yeah, and there's a lot. We're 50 hours away from this. So there's a lot that can still happen with this football team. And with the Raiders. That Devontae Adams thing popping up yesterday with a hammy.
Hammies are not good.
Nope. That's not ideal. That's for sure. I think we all expect Crosby will play.
There is no scenario. There is no scenario where you should not have your way offensively with this defense.
Agreed. They're down
Andy-
2 starters.
Yeah, they're down 2 starters. They got a bunch of guys banged up. The secondary there's nothing in the secondary that you should be fearful of at all. Wilkins is great in the middle, and obviously Crosby, he'll play and he'll be a problem. But other than that, this is a defense that Andy Dalton came off the couch and threw for 303 touchdowns and a win. They had guys running free down the middle of the field. Carolina did, and they haven't done anything well offensively all year, and they lit them up. So there will be opportunities for this offense to get right. It's kind of a perfect opponent, and it sets up actually pretty well for us from an opponent standpoint, because by going Raiders, Washington, and again, we're not good enough to count wins, and I'm not playing the schedule game. I'm just saying in terms of relatively soft defensive play, there are only 2 quarterbacks in the league this year who have thrown for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. They happen against the next 2 teams we play. It was Burrow against Washington, and it was Andy Dalton last week against the Raiders. That's it. That's the list. So you should be able to throw it, you should be able to run it, and you should be able to have success. Amari will be key in that, Judy as well, but that kind of gives you an idea of what you could look for in the game coming up on Sunday out in Las Vegas. We'll do a little over-unders coming up next. Before we do that, though, I want to tell you about Leaf Filter, official gutter guard of your Cleveland Browns. Go to leaffilter.com/GoBrowns to schedule a free gutter inspection and to receive your exclusive promo offer, or call 833-LEAF-FILTER today for more. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Browns fans, we're looking at the next Cleveland Browns Fan of the Year to represent the Dog Pound of the city of Cleveland, the NFL's Ultimate Fan of the Year contest. The winner will receive 2 tickets to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/fan of the year to nominate a fan today. Before we get into the over-under game. Oh, go ahead, Gibby. Do you have a note?
Oh, no. I was just going to comment on the. I just want to know where that came from. This has been a subject of conversation.
So
in
as
the
I
building
walked in today, this was propped up. If you're watching on YouTube, there is what I would consider a glamour shot. Fair?
I don't even know.
This
what
feels
it is.
like something like
You took it.
I did not take it. I was there.
Well, you participated. Somebody else slapped it. It feels like something like AC Slater would
I'm
do
sure I was doing
in
this
Saved
as
by
a
the Bell.
joke at the end
Yeah.
of like a photo
This
shoot.
is-
This is like me being a joke.
This is
doing
like
a joke.
in 90210 when they flash or Saved
Yeah.
by the Bell.
Yeah, I'm like,
There
what if
he
I was
is.
the quarterback? Yeah.
It's so
ridiculous.
good. I love it. I loved it. I was so excited when I saw it this morning.
I got to tell
when
you
came
something
in.
though. This is
Yeah.
anti-Stevie behavior. This is
Oh,
the
well,
opposite of what a Stevie should be
here's the
doing
other-
to
you're
have
right.
a
I think-
prosperous career.
I think it's a great job out of you. Be careful when you poke the bear, G-man.
Yeah.
The other thing,
It's outrageous.
The other thing that I realized, he has a homework assignment. The G-man has a homework assignment.
Well, that's
He-
strike 2. He's
I know you're on your. So you have
you're
one
up
left.
one. That's it.
Be careful. So he
He's
has
doing
not-
just fine.
he
We
has
might
not
be at
seen-
1, but he's
Well,
not
listen.
at 2.
To be fair, though, G-man, be fair. The last one Gibby said was doing just fine. Not, as turned out,
That's right.
not.
Yeah.
However, you know who I'm talking about. So you got to watch Eastbound and Down.
Yes.
That's your job.
You have to watch. You
have to watch
got to
it.
find a way.
Yeah.
He's got to
Or
watch.
steal an
you-
HBO code or something.
All right, you got to do 2 things. One, watch that. The other would be watch a very famous SNL skit about a Christmas gift, or right, or really for any event, it's a gift that you can give, and that
I think it's the gift
The
that
gift
keeps
that
on
keeps
giving.
on giving.
yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
that is the way that you need to dress on game days. Because
If you think that's if you think that's above him,
And the combine. by
and the
way.
combine, yeah,
That's
and
how
the
you
combine,
should dress at the
yeah.
combine, too.
Combine as well.
Combine and game days wear that type of a lot of mock turtlenecks and absurd jackets. That's what we need out of you.
with
All right.
chains
With
Done.
chains exposed
exposed. Yeah.
on the outside of the mock turtleneck, sir. Was that a mock turtleneck or a dickie? Might have been a dickie.
I think it was actually sometimes it was
That's
just
what they're called.
we did a whole show about Dickies
it was a
at
silk
one
T-shirt.
point.
It was just a silk T-shirt.
With a wasn't it
Some of them would be up, but some were just, I think it was just a silk shirt.
silk T-shirt?
Yeah. You remember that? I don't know, come on, that was like 1999.
What, am I hard to remember it?
2000.
Yeah.
By the way, that's coming back. I don't know if you've noticed. It's
So
coming back.
It's funny. I saw what
That's the evolution from the hoodie under the sport coat is going to be back to
It's
a
gonna be
silk.
back to that?
Yep. And
So-
I'm here for it.
you're here for it. Silk against the against flesh. It's a great
The
feeling
light
against the skin.
is Part of the yeah.
Have you seen what I saw CJ Stroud in this getup, and then I saw Caleb Williams in this getup. They both were wearing it. It's like a wide leg pant
Yeah.
with like a cowboy boot is
Yeah.
what CJ was wearing.
Yeah.
It looked absurd.
Not here for that. That's
No.
not for me.
Now, sometimes I don't know if it's just I'm 40 and I'm so set in my ways, but I don't think I'm wrong on this. There was another fad that happened about 6 months ago on the women's side of things in a similar wide leg, high waist pant situation.
not a flattering situation.
It's not a great look.
No.
It's just not. And I say the same thing to CJ. Not a great look, brother. Let's rethink it. Let's get organized here on this.
Yes.
That's not the look you want. There's nothing flattering about that. We do have still the kids torn between are we supposed to wear short shorts or are we wearing longer shorts? After 2 days of basketball tryouts, there's a good mix.
Are we gonna take
of
this
that.
down now?
No, I think leave it up. We're going to put it on a billboard.
Jordan, we can take it down.
Oh, thank you,
So-
Gibbe.
We used to own an electronic billboard off of 480.
Of that,
If we still did,
Sad
I
that
would
you
throw
don't.
that sucker right up there.
Be really nice.
there would be a
second.
post, and I
I would be
I
so
know
excited.
the
Hold
on a
post that
second.
I would
Hold on.
put.
Let me just
I would
say
be so
something.
excited.
Let me just say something really quickly. Here.
Your enthusiasm for life in it is everything that you are.
I know, but you, of all people, acting like you don't know what happened here. I don't know if you recall when you and I had to do one of these.
Oh my God!
And then we took a prom picture at the end. So, yeah.
Do you have it
Somewhere.
somewhere?
For sure.
Oh my God!
Did Starkey take that?
He always used to take
Yes.
these pictures of us
Yes,
I
and that's
think
how
they've given
things like
up.
that happen.
There was a time when there was a real enthusiasm from this organization for this show. That's long past. But in
No,
the
I
old
think
days,
there's enthusiasm.
in the old days, we used to get
Photo
glamour
shoot.
shots.
You guys did. They would bring in like the
Yeah.
the
And
umbrella
we would-
like lights and
Give them
Yeah.
a nice look.
I'm looking for it somewhere.
I know
We've
the
got
one you're talking of. There's one where like I'm in your embrace. I
Yeah,
wanna
yeah. It's a prom picture.
It's so good. Why would we do that?
the only thing missing
We got all
corsages
caught
and
up
Because we
bananas.
were stuck doing this photo shoot for a long time. So at the end, you're like, let me do something
Like,
ridiculous.
I don't know what's going on. Do something ridiculous, and that's the one that gets saved.
They found some. This is the second time I've been agreed with something like this. The other time was when I was on that other pregame show. Its first season on CBS. They had us do like an ugly Christmas sweater episode.
yeah.
And then so there were like photo shoots of me in ugly Christmas sweaters, which were outrageous. And I made some ridiculous faces on those too.
Yeah. See, that's what happens. You got to be careful with the still photo folks.
Well, you
careful
typically
with
don't think
those.
that you're going to be undermined by Stevie, the G-Man.
No, you can't have the G-Man undermine.
But
you.
he's done it.
This all
I
reminds me.
signed off on it. He's fine.
The movie is not sensational, but there's a 15-20 minute stretch that makes me laugh as hard as anything I've seen, and it's the movie Lost in Translation when Bill Murray is doing the photo shoot for the whiskey, and he's trying to get him to look like Dino and Sinatra and
In Japan?
In
Yeah,
Japan, he's doing it for the Japanese whiskey, and at one point he's trying to get him to be like Roger Moore, and he goes a ring a ding ding, like trying to get this look. It's money. It's so great. But anyway, that's what it got me thinking of doing that. You guys ready for a little over under?
No.
Absolutely.
Hold on, I'm not even done with it.
Do you need a minute?
Yeah, I'll be all right.
That's fine.
We got to get these sacks, interceptions, fumbles going.
Z, what are you doing tonight in Vegas?
What are you doing?
What time are you guys gonna? What time's it gonna be when you guys get there?
6 o'clock.
Are you going to
Living.
the wrestling show? The
You're not,
wrestling?
you don't have to load in, Gibbe.
No, that's tomorrow night.
Where or how? What is your guys' proximity to the places you'd want to eat and drink? And well, you can't go to casinos, right? So you have to
You
go
can
to.
walk through a casino to get to a food or beverage establishment and a show if you'd like to go see a show.
Is there any comedians out there
Bert
playing?
Kreischer's there tonight.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That'd be a fun one to be able to see.
Yes.
I don't even know what are like the. I have not been to Vegas since my wife's sister turned 21.
Wow.
So that's
Oof.
been a dozen years.
You got to
something
go
like
back.
that.
Vegas is great.
I know it's. I mean, I'm not in the Vegas time of my life. There will come
No,
a second
yeah.
Vegas run.
Yeah.
There was a prominent Vegas run from
Early.
age
Yeah,
19
sure.
to 30. A lot of Vegas trips. So I wouldn't even know like where to eat or what would be. They have a billion great places to eat. Pick your place. Like, do you go old school Vegas? Do you go find the new hot spot? Like, what do you try to do there? That's kind of the thing. All the steakhouses are great. You're not going to go
All the
wrong.
food's
The food's going to be
delicious.
tremendous.
Yeah.
The only thing that is always, and the last time I was there, I'm sure this still remains, the amount of time it takes for you to get from your Uber or cab in through the casino to find the restaurant that's through a labyrinth and a maze and a code with a retina scanner. All of that is a pain in the neck.
Well, and that's Jordan
getting
was
off the
saying,
strip is a pain in the neck.
Uber does not drop you. They have Uber stops. They don't drop you at these hotels.
Well, how could they? Otherwise, it'd be just
Nonstop.
you'd never be able to get anybody out of there. So they probably just drop you off like a bus.
Yeah, it's like a stop, and it's the same thing when you're ready to come home.
Yeah, they have pretty good people mover situations there, though. There are a lot of moving escalators and carts and stuff.
They still
like
have the
that. Tram.
monorail. It's been a
Always
while
had the
since I've-
monorail. Used to. I don't know. When's the last time you were out there, Z? Vegas.
For Broski's wedding.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
Was
Yes,
that New
wasn't
Year's
that
Eve?
long.
That
ago.
was on New Year's Eve 2 years ago, maybe.
2 years ago. Yeah, yeah. Gibbe? Well, you go to the golf trip, right? You go to Mesquite, so you fly into Vegas.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. All right, there you go. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
It's not gone well.
How did we do last week?
1-4, 2-3.
Yes, baby.
So 6-10 and 7-9.
Who's winning?
At this point? Gibbe
Gross.
That's right.
by 1. Look, I mean, quite honestly, what's undone you guys is our offensive performances. I've tried to go low even on those.
I
that
know.
are enthusi-
They've been very
I've
attainable.
gone very low, and they've still not attained. So hopefully it can. Look at that guy. So great. Pure energy.
Hey.
Pure energy.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, it's killing us. I even had some guy be like, I used to like Browns daily, but every week they think the Browns are going to win and they think the offense is going to do well. Like, it's a pretty low bar. We just haven't gotten over it.
Last year, or let me see.
What did you ask for? Watson to be like 220 yards?
No, it was 80.5 quarterback rating. And he actually was above
was over.
that.
Yeah,
so you
that
guys
was good.
did
So we
get
got
that one. What you got wrong was I gave you Judy, Foreman, and Ford versus Neighbors and Singletary.
Well,
That
yeah.
might have been over at halftime.
So that didn't work.
Well,
And
given
then
that
the
Deontay
only-
Foreman didn't participate in the game, that was
that-
really a
yeah.
2 for 2.
Yeah, it was. Which we would not have
I
known
didn't
because we
see. I
thought for
didn't
sure that
foresee.
Foreman would play. And
And play a lot.
Gibbe got right dimes over 201.5, and I believe you said because they would be throwing the ball late, we all thought we'd be able to handle them. Not.
I think the rationale being wrong means that miss.
And then the over under, we were off that as well. Actually, we have not. We have
Have we
only
gone
gone
over?
over the over once, and that was because of Dallas.
Yeah.
The other two games we were under the over under, and they were low. Guess what? This week's is real low. All right, let's begin. Gibbe, you are first this week. We're looking for Gardner Minshew passing yardage of 229.5. He's averaging
He
249.
had 300 against us last year. He had like 305 with the Colts.
Very good, Gibbe. He had exactly
Hey,
305.
I had to interview
Gibbe.
Coach yesterday. There was a lot riding on that. I had to keep the high level that you bring to the table.
Do you feel like you did that?
I'd like to think so.
Good.
He said thanks, Gibbs. So
Oh,
I
that's
feel like
nice.
I'm there.
That's nice.
All right. I'm going to go over because they can't run the football either. So I'm not saying that translates to points for them, but I think he'll go over on that.
I'm same. I'm going to go over as well.
Next.
Over, under.
All right, it ain't high. We're looking for a completion percentage out of our quarterback, 60.5.
Well, last week we talked about how quarterbacks were completing 79% of their passes against the Giants,
Yeah, we did talk about that.
and he completed 57. This week, quarterbacks are completing 66% of their passes against the Raiders. Mm-hmm. 60.5.
60.5.
I'm just going to say over because it has to be. Like,
That's where I was going. It has to be for us to get the W. It's got to be over.
He was over in the one win, right around 64, under in the two L's.
Yep, we're going
so
over.
there could be a correlation there. Next.
Over, under.
All right, you're going to get a 3 for 2 here. 3 of our pass catchers versus 2 of theirs. Now, the one thing that we're going to have to ask the judges about is what to do if Adams doesn't play. And we're not privy to that on a Friday as we're doing this show.
no.
So,
Then we just remove it.
well, then it's going to be a 2 for 1. Okay, so all right, I know how I'm going to do this. All right.
Come.
You get Jerry Jeudy, Coop, and Elijah Moore over under Adams and Bowers. If Adams doesn't play, then Coop comes out. So you get a 3 for 2 or a 2 for 1.
Well, that changes things.
If it's 3 for 2, I want
No,
Adams
it's
and
got to be the
Bowers.
same answer. So how do we get it to where it's the same answer? What do I got to
Fine,
What do
I'll
I got to
take-
do to
I'm gonna
get you
take-
to? Do you want a 4th Browns
I'm gonna
pass catcher?
No, I'm going to take
Can I interest you in Cedric Tillman? Do you want him?
the Raiders.
So under.
Yep.
Completely screwing up anything that I would have said in question 1 about fact or fiction. I'm going to take the Browns.
So you're going to go over. Over. All right. Next.
Over, under.
All right, boys, sacks, interceptions, and fumbles. For perspective, we have hit this only never.
0 times is the answer.
Well,
0.
I'm back to normal then.
The only one who's gotten this one right is Z under on the Jaguars. That's it. Everything else has gone bust. The number again is 4.5. It has to be 4.5.
Under.
That's depressing.
Over. Let's go.
I'd be so thrilled for me to reverse
Or to
jinx
be
us to
wrong on
win.
those.
Please.
Let's go. Let's go.
We need game wins more than I need. I've won years and years and ages of this. I don't care anymore. I need the Browns to win this game.
Got to get a dub.
Yes.
Next.
Over, under.
All right, Gibby, we close with you. The actual, it's the smallest we've had all year. 36.5.
Over.
36.5.
We get right in Vegas. Cleveland West.
Gibby is so excited.
Over. It's got.
Can you imagine if you were unfettered? If you were just an unfettered?
My God.
After the week
I
you've
don't
had?
even. I know.
Can
I
you
know
imagine,
because I've done it.
I know. I've seen me do it. Can you imagine if it was just hall pass Gibby for 48 hours, unchecked? You'd be running around like the guys in The Hangover.
The last time I found myself with one of my best friends from high school at a blackjack table at 4 a.m. after everybody else had gone to bed with AC Slater.
That's pretty good.
And we were
AC Slater.
and then he was like, "Let's
The
go
real
party." And I
Mario
was like, "Well, I think
Lopez?
I've already been partying."
The
but
actual
okay.
Mario Lopez?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
There was just the three of us. It was fantastic.
That's all I want. You hanging out with AC Slater. Are you over or under 36.5?
Over.
Come on, Z. We're going to Vegas.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby. Who gets hurt?
Vegas, baby.
Browns fans, we're looking for the next Browns fan of the year to represent the dog pound in the city of Cleveland, the NFL's Ultimate Fan of the Year contest. The winner receives 2 tickets to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/fan of the year to nominate your fan today. We will have some Coach Stefanski from the podium from earlier today. Your keys to the game, your scores, the final hours coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Boost your game day this season with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Place your first bet at $25 or more, and you're going to get $150 back in bonus bets. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. We head to the podium presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here's Coach Stefanski from earlier today.
Okay.
You guys are down. This is just a little over 2 minutes.
Going to have a good Friday practice and then get on the airplane out to Las Vegas. We'll have a walkthrough while we're out there tomorrow. And then looking forward to the opportunity to compete on Sunday. But with that, I'll take any questions.
Hey, Kevin, I had a couple of injury things for you. Saw David on the field yesterday. Do you expect him to practice again today?
He won't. He'll be out this week.
He'll be out this week. Okay.
Yes.
And then Jerome and Miles were both out there too yesterday. How'd they come through it?
Good. So, they'll practice today and then we'll make determinations, but they look good.
Hey, Kevin, just wondering, do you have any more clarity? Not that you're going to tell us, but do you have any more clarity on what might happen for you at left tackle this week?
Yeah, I think you have to get through Friday practice for sure, Mary Kay, but I know we have options. There's things that we can do, based on who's available. So I think that's the biggest thing is understanding that you have to get through a full week of practice, see where you land, and then make a determination from there.
Will Jed or Jack practice? Are they practicing today?
They will not. They'll both be out.
Are you ruling them out for the game, either of them?
Yes, both got. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Jack Conklin, Jed Wills, David Njoku, Pierre Strong are out. Will not practice today.
Yeah, Kevin, when you guys run the ball, we've seen you've been able to put those nice long drives together. Just even with the offensive line challenges, just how important is it, even though you want to throw it, to really get that run game going?
Yeah, we want to score points any which way we can, run, pass. We've had some success in the RPO game where it goes down as a throw, but we kind of see it as an extension of the run game too. So anything that moves the football down the field, gets us in the end zone, we're looking forward to doing with our team. Obviously, the run game and the pass game, we need to be more efficient in both areas. And ultimately, that's where explosives tend to come when you're staying efficient in those areas.
Hey, Kevin, with Jed, there was a report that the MRI came back clean. So do you expect it to be not a long-term thing with him?
Yeah, I'm just really focused on this week, Scott. We'll figure out where that goes for next week.
And then the Raiders, rookie tight end Bowers, what has he shown you in these first few games?
Yeah, he's excellent. He was drafted up there in the first round for a reason. They have really two good tight ends. I think Mayer is very good as well. But Bowers in particular, very athletic, can block, fast, can make you miss when he gets the ball in his hands. So a complete tight end. He's a very good football player.
All right, there you go from the podium presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience packages today for the ultimate game day. Your Sunday forecast at Allegiant Stadium Sunday at kickoff. Well, it's a dome, kids, which is lucky because 102 and sunny, but it's a dry heat in the desert.
It is a dry heat in the desert. Yes.
Yeah. You going to be able to?
We're going to test it out. We'll test it out
See if we
early
can.
in the morning. Early.
You'll be
I think
fine.
you got to be early.
I think you'd be fine even at 102. It's no big deal.
It's not
Indoor
no
golf.
big deal.
I've done it in the desert a lot in the three figures.
110
It's
is when
fine.
it gets untenable.
Yeah, but 102 because here's the deal with the dry heat thing. You're underneath the shade of the golf cart. As soon as you hit the gas, it's an air conditioner. It's true.
It's an air conditioner that is without its Freon or whatever it is that actually makes the air cold.
But because you're sweating, so if you wear one of the long sleeve golf shirts, like a breathable long sleeve golf shirt to keep the sun off, then the wind will blow through and you're ready, baby.
I am ready.
You're going to thrive. You're going to thrive.
Can't wait.
You ready for your keys?
Yeah.
Dr. Z.
Listen, folks, this one is pretty simple. Number one, you got to win the turnover battle. Right now, the Raiders, they have just one takeaway, 5 giveaways in 3 games. They're 30th, so that bodes well for the Cleveland Browns' ability to win that turnover battle. Number 2, your offensive line has got to be better. You have got to create running lanes for Jerome Ford and Deontay Foreman. You have got to create time for Deshaun Watson and this passing offense to operate. Number 3, Deshaun Watson's got to be better. Quarterback has got to be efficient with the football, make quicker decisions with the football, get it out of his hands. If you cannot count on the offensive line to give you time, you've got to adjust how you're playing there. So I think those are 3 critical things. You've got to keep Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins away, take care of the football, and then have the offensive line do its job and provide time and opportunity, not only in the running game, but in the passing game. And then defensively, they're the worst running team in the league. So completely eliminate their run game. Force this game into the hands of Gardner Minshew, and then do your job on the back end. Trey Tucker, that's the vertical threat you've got to watch out for. That's the guy with the speed. They've also got Devontae Adams. They got Jacoby Myers, and then they have a very good rookie tight end, Brock Bowers. They can throw the ball. But with Colton Miller and likely DJ Glaze starting at the other side, you should be able to generate pressure yourself on Minshew. If we can collapse the pocket in the middle, he's going to have nowhere to go because I have a feeling Miles and Za'Darius are going to be able to get around the edge pretty easily, around the edge. So that's really it. Let special teams be a net neutral. They've got a great punter, Pro Bowler every year, all pro, all of it. They've got a good kicker in Carlson. We know that very well. But just go out there and take care of your business. Just be the team that goes out and just handles the football, protects it on offense, takes it away on defense, and go out there and beat this Raiders team. This is a bad defense. You need to score. Here's one that people don't realize. You need to score more points than your opponent if you want to win.
Fact.
You got to score. And in the words of the coach of the lacrosse team that Ostreicher was on, you don't score till you score.
That's right.
And then the other coach said, till you score. That's what it's got to be.
East Great Falls Lacrosse is what those guys were.
They were?
Yeah,
East?
East Great Falls Lacrosse, yeah.
Such a great fall that it has an East.
East, potentially a West as well.
You would imagine.
Yeah, I feel like there must be a West Great Falls as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could even be a North and a South. Who's to say? Not me.
On a serious question, now that we have we know the two tackles are out, what do you think it will be in terms of the five in front, and then what do you anticipate in terms of men being up behind that?
So I think it will be if you're talking from left to right, I think it'll be Hudson, Bitonio, Posick, Zinter, and DeJuan Jones is what I think it is going to end up being.
So then you would have Harris, Ifedi.
Nick Harris will be up. Jermaine Ifedi will be up. And
Dunn?
Javion Cohen will be up.
Javion Cohen. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. That
and they could look at having another tackle just elevated on game day, but my guess is probably not. It'll probably be the backups will be Jermaine Ifedi at the swing tackle, Nick Harris, and then Cohen, and then you have the ability, if you needed to kick Bitonio out. He'd kind of be the fourth tackle, would be my guess.
Yeah, it's a wild spot to be on in Week 3. That this is what has happened already on the offensive line, but it's happening around the league. You saw DeMarcus Lawrence out for several weeks for the Cowboys, and Parsons isn't as known, but he's got a high ankle sprain, so he's going to be out a while. So their two best defensive players are on the shelf now, so that's not good.
Do you know who? I'm pretty sure I have this right. Let's see. Bear with me here.
Yep.
Yeah, do you know who their next game's against?
Cowboys? G-Man knows.
The Squealers.
It's unbelievable, dude. The breaks that they have got in the early going of this
season
they're going to
be
unbelievable.
They're going to go to 4-0 this weekend because there's no way that I like the matchup of Richardson against that defense. And then they've got the Cowboys without any pass rush at all.
Then the Raiders.
Who also, by the way, can't run.
Then the Raiders.
Then the Raiders. Give me the next one.
Jets at home Sunday Night Football. Then Giants at home.
Oh, my God.
Monday Night Football.
Well, they better make hay because the back end's tough for them, but they're going to have –
the back end, once it gets –
they have so many breaks.
At the Commander – after the bye week, it's at Commanders, which I don't think is a layup anymore. At Commanders, home Ravens, at Browns, at Bengals, home Browns, at Eagles, at Ravens, home Chiefs, home Bengals. So
okay, so that's where it'll
but they might be now 7-1.
Yeah, they could be.
And if they are, they're winning 10 games for sure.
Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. All right, it is an early edition of a little segment we like to call "Pay Attention to the Scores."
At your own peril, right?
At your own peril so far.
Yeah, last week was a tough one.
We're gonna try and rally.
Yeah, we had a 7-9 for yours truly, and then not as good for
5-11. Did I end up or 4-11? 4-12. Brutal. Bad as I've ever started on NFL picks. We'll do it all next. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily. Elk and Elk Serious Lawyers, Serious Injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. And Elk and Elk is a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. We hit the scores a little bit early this week. You two have to catch a plane out west.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas.
Really could use the Saturday departure, but that's all right.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to have Saturday there, though.
A little bit of, yeah.
A little bit of sun. Are you going to
and
get a little
pooling
pool
and
time?
Little golf.
Gibbe?
Little golf, Gibbe. Hoover Dam.
Well, I'm definitely not hitting the small ball around.
Hoover Dam.
That's reserved for luminaries.
No, they have golf courses everywhere out there.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
Come on, Gibbe. You want a tea time? I get you tea time by 2 o'clock.
Yeah, Gibbe.
Get you all the tea times you want.
Yeah,
He could have gotten a tea time himself.
The ship sticks was a little expensive for me on this one.
Rentals.
Sure. How's that work for me?
No, they have all sorts of. When you go to the resorts, they have all height sizes and all of that. You know this.
I do know this. I don't like playing. I
don't
like playing golf. If it's not my golf clubs.
Okay, so if it is playing golf at a beautiful place under a beautiful sun-kissed day without your golf clubs, or don't playing golf at all, you choose don't playing golf at all.
I'll go to the pool.
Probably.
Wow. All right.
If you're saying this was like, you can only play Pebble Beach with rental clubs.
No,
or I can't play Pebble Beach. I'll play Pebble Beach with rental clubs.
Just pretend. This is the better way to do it. Pretend this game was in the end of November.
Okay.
And you haven't played golf here for 2 months.
Okay.
And it's sun-kissed.
Yep.
And you can play. What's the one out there?
Shadow Creek.
Shadow Creek.
Yeah.
And you got to rent clubs.
Fine.
Yeah. So that's a resort course.
It's not November.
The difference is, though, is you're still playing golf here, and so you don't miss it.
Hopefully. Yeah.
But that's probably why.
Yeah.
But isn't it, when you guys are out there, it seems like it should be 15 degrees cooler.
It looks like it should be 60.
I know. When I got out of basketball tryouts last night at like 9:30, I was thinking I looked outside, it looked kind of cool and crisp like October. It was like 78.
Yeah.
So that wind's coming out of the north right now. It's going to shift. We're supposed to get the bands of that hurricane here tonight.
It's going to be a mess. It's going to be an absolute
High school
mess.
football going to be a little soggy.
Oh, it's supposed to rain here quite a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much all the way through next week. It's going to be wet, gross.
Yeah, the weekend not looking great.
Yep.
It's one of the days I'm happy that our high school football show is in studio.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's. Hey, Glenville with a big beat.
Huge dub last night.
I saw that last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just ask, I don't know. I got buddies on the coach at Glenville. Is Ed's healthy? Because they got beat pretty good by Massillon last week, beat them by 2 scores, and they were ranked in the top 10 in the country. And then Glenville got them yesterday. I wonder if they're healthy.
Eds is down their top running back who tore his ACL, but he's a junior, so he will come back next year. But his fellow junior has been filling in pretty nicely for him. It's been more so defensively. They haven't been able to stop anybody this season.
That's wild. Yeah, wild.
Yeah, I mean,
big win, though.
It's attrition. Graduating classes. Maybe this one.
I don't know. Yeah, they were top 10 in the country to start the year. All right, Gibby.
What'd you do last week, boys?
We went over
we
it.
already
It sucked.
documented
Don't worry
it
about
and
it.
move on.
We handed out scholarships for all these years. Maybe this is the year it all goes south. Who knows? I don't like it. We said it. We said it on Guess the
world needs ditch diggers. I told my
too.
daughters this.
When we did this on Guess the Scores earlier in the week, and every time we do this, I find it wildly uncomfortable. This is the least clue I've had about this league week to week. What I think of it doesn't match up what's happening on the field. It also doesn't match up from a scores perspective. At least the first week, like in terms of picking the right winner,
yeah,
you had a great deal of success. But then last week, that wasn't even the case. Like we've had these super dogs who not only cover but win 9 times out of 17 games. I mean, it's wild.
It is.
All right, let's get things going. The 1 o'clock slate, week 4 in the National Football League. We'll get to watch some of these as we await for our turn.
How about you guys waking up and then like 11 a.m. football?
That's tomorrow.
See,
now that tomorrow?
You're going to get that tomorrow?
That tomorrow. College football Saturday.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
The big one.
9 a.m., right?
Well,
are we only 2 behind?
I think you're Mountain in Vegas.
No, we're 3.
I think it's 3.
Pacific?
It's a 3.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So you're 9 a.m. Well, then find a place around 4:30 tomorrow because that's Georgia, Bama. That's Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State,
Siciliano on the
Illinois.
call.
Those are all 7:30s.
We got 3 hours.
Siciliano's in East Lansing.
We're working out the logistics, but Andrew will be in the booth on Sunday. Let's just go with it that.
Air Gibby.
Yeah. I don't have enough going on this week. Let's kick things off. The Bengals, winless Bengals, on the road, hitting a little Fahrenheit in Charlotte, North Carolina, versus the 1-2 Carolina Panthers. Zagora, kick us off, Week 4.
This is the Andy Dalton revenge game.
Oh, God, 300 yards. These are the only 2 quarterbacks in the league that have thrown for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns this season.
By the way, watching his tape against the Raiders was incredibly impressive. He threw with such anticipation. He made big-time throws into tight windows that I think a lot of quarterbacks wouldn't even have attempted the throws.
Yeah.
And he did and was on fire. The Bengals are just better. I know they lost to Washington, but they're better. I think they're going to get it figured out. I like the Bengals in this one comfortable. 39-24. Bengals.
I like that 39 score on this. One thing to watch for in Cincinnati, I talked about just not good mojo down there. Jamar Chase this week, did you guys hear his comments? He said some of the effect of about he's just focused on football now, had a great game last week, now he feels like he's back into it. I'm paraphrasing, but then he also said, I'm just over the nonsense of the summer, and like there's bad blood.
Yeah, T. Higgins doesn't seem to have any good vibes.
The Brown family really botched that thing.
Yep.
I'm with you, though. Cincinnati finally gets right. I think they win pretty comfortably as well. I think this is a little bit of an overreaction. I like Cincinnati in this one, 31-17.
Up next, we go to Jersey. The New York Football Jets playing host to the Denver Broncos. Broncos, big winner last week on the road in Tampa Bay. Broncos have allowed the third fewest points in the AFC. Broncos 1-2, Jets 2-1. Bo Bishop.
What did I say earlier this week?
The league is drunk.
It is 6 or more, 2-15. I have to apply some of this logic at some point.
Huge.
I would have no interest in this game at all. New York should hammer them. They should be able to move it on them. Surtain's been unbelievable for Denver. So they'll lock up. If they put him on Garrett Wilson, it'll continue a long run of a bit of a slow start for him. I like New York winning the game 28-21.
Same. I think that's the hook. Quoting Blues Traveler, the hook brings me back right there. I
Love
like
the
that
Blues
hook.
Traveler.
If it was hits, man, I like this.
It's interesting. If it were 1 point lower,
same.
I would have gone the other way. But I like that hook. I think this feels very much like a 7-er. Look, Denver just went on the road. They stayed at the Greenbrier. They've had luxurious accommodations. They're ready to go against the Jets. I think it'll stay close. I think the Jets, it'll never feel like they're going to lose the game, but Denver will be right there.
Up next, on to Houston we go. How about Jacksonville? 0-3 on the football season. 0-3 in the conference. This is their third road game already. They've only played one home game.
It was us.
Yep.
Jags on the road visiting the Houston Texans. 2-1 on the football season. Zagura.
I mean, at some point, I keep thinking, they're getting all these points. Maybe they're just not good. I don't understand it. Trevor Lawrence seemed pretty unhappy on the sidelines last week. Maybe Doug Peterson has not evolved, and they're just not capable of playing the kind of offense that they need to. I feel like people would look at this and probably after what happened with Houston last week say, this is the game to go on the Jags. I'm going to go the other way. I think the Texans win this one. I think they win it comfortably. Comfortable. Texans 80, Jags 3.
I see it the same way you do, my friend. I think Jacksonville's maybe just bad. I think they
Coach on the hot seat.
Yeah, I mean that could very well be the case. Maybe quarterback on the hot seat too. Like at some point elevate. That hasn't happened. Houston gets right in a big way. What did you have it? 80-3.
Yep, 80-3.
I'll go 77-2.
Perfect.
Big blockbuster games. To the NFC we go. 1 o'clock games. Week 4 in the National Football League. Ram it. Fresh off their first win of the year against the hapless 49ers. Rams 1-2 on the football season. On the road, they're 0-2 on the road, visiting the only team in the NFC North with a losing record, the Chicago Football Bears. Bo Bishop.
This one is you look at this. Rams just beat the 49ers at their place. Bears just lost to Indy. Rams going to Chicago and getting some, right? So I'm trying to understand why they're getting that. I do think Caleb unlocked a little bit with the offense. They threw for 360 against Indy last week. Chicago cannot run the ball or is unwilling to run the ball. Their offensive line is particularly bad. I just think the Rams are such a mass unit at this moment that maybe Chicago finally gets right. My hunches have been wrong all year long, so don't follow me on any of this. But give me the Bears. The Bears. We're going to go 31-24.
Here's one that's odd. So the public, 77% of the wagers have been placed on the Rams.
Yeah.
And yet, the line has gone from Bears 1 to Bears 3. So that's where the sharps are. I'm going to stay with them. I'm with you. You wouldn't look at this and expect the Bears to be favored. They're favored by a decent margin here, and I think that means that they're going to take care of business at home. The Bears 4, Rams 0.
Good baseball score.
Greg
a
Maddux.
huge one in the NFC Norris division.
Corners, baby.
Huge. This will be a good one to watch at the early part of the day. The Minnesota Vikings on the road at Green Bay. Packers, Vikes. Jordan Love playing, not playing? Do we know this
I don't know if
yet?
we have a designation on that yet.
Packers.
But I think it tells you a lot about Green Bay that this is what it is, and we don't know.
Yeah, Minnesota's running back, former Packer, saying he's going to do the Lambeau leap
Aaron
if he
Jones,
scores.
yep.
You're going to get covered in a lot of Miller Lite. Easy there, buddy. Relax.
Jordan Love is at practice today.
Yeah, he's been in there all week. I'm very curious to know.
Zagura,
the way
your
Willis
pick.
has played, there's no need to rush it.
No. It's been a great story for Minnesota. They've been off to a tremendous start, but I like the Packers. I like this team. I liked them from the beginning. I had them going to the NFC Championship game preseason, winning their division. I still like that. This is a big game for them to win, and I think they will. Sam Darnold is very good. Justin Jefferson's good, but at some point there's going to be kind of a little hiccup with Sam Darnold. I think this is the week against the good Green Bay defense. Packers win a tight one, 28-24.
Same.
Oh man,
I don't go against Green Bay. That's the only thing I've gotten right. Is the read on Green Bay I've gotten right. Everything else I've been off on. I don't go. I think LaFleur can coach it.
Up next, NFC South. Big matchup here. Atlanta. Thoughts are with everybody down south, man. A lot of water, a lot of rain, a lot
Buddy
of flooding,
visiting
man.
with his daughter visiting Clemson, and there's no power. It's a mess.
Oh man,
total mess.
Yeah, the Falcons playing host to the New Orleans Saints. Saints on top of the division at 2-1. Falcons 1-2, but not gutless.
No.
Bo Bishop.
I think the Falcons are actually a pretty good team. Their two losses are quality losses. Could have won last week against Kansas City. It's at their place. These two teams hate each other. This is why they brought in Cousins. I think Atlanta wins this one. I'm going to go 30-20.
Have you seen what they're wearing?
Dude, the red hats.
With the original logo.
The original logo. Come on. Gorgeous.
That logo should be their logo. And if it's not, combine that logo with the new logo to make a better logo, which doesn't have all the red on the Falcon. You don't need any red on the Falcon.
You don't need any red on the Falcon.
Just let the Falcon be.
They should wear the Dion, Jeff George's as primaries and have the red helmet as the alternate. You're welcome.
Steve Bartkowski era. Yeah, I'm with you. Falcons, I think. New Orleans, I don't know. I still am not fully bought into the New Orleans Saints experience, and I'm with you. Falcons, 79,000. Saints, 4.
Oof. All right. You got to like that if you're a Browns fan. That'll lower the ticket prices in New Orleans for that week after the bye.
There you go.
Tampa Bay in the NFC, fresh off that loss to the Broncos out of nowhere at home. Tampa Bay tries to get back on the schneid. They host the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are 2-1 on the football season. I really don't know what to make of them either. Eagles, Buccaneers.
No Devonta, no A.J. Brown.
Nick Sirianni 2 hours ago said A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Lane Johnson are doing everything they can to be cleared and to play at the Bucs.
Okay. That's a bit of a change.
But
what is that?
I don't know
really-
if that means they're going to be able to. I mean, Devonta Smith did not practice again on Friday.
Oh, well then, yeah.
By the way, they fined Saints defensive tackle Christian Boyd $4,600 for his hit on Devonta Smith, and they suspended Derwin James for a game. I mean, I think that hit that was on Devonta Smith was one of the dirtier hits I've seen in quite some time. If you were going to suspend anybody, that feels like that should have been one.
Agreed.
Did we both make picks?
We have not picked this game. You're up
Okay.
for C.
I am.
Yes. Eagles, Buccaneers.
I just don't think that the Eagles have enough weapons here. So maybe they find a way to eke it out on a last-second field goal. Eagles, 989.
Oh, baby.
Bucks, 988.
I'm going to go same but different. Eagles, 998. Bucks, 996.
Next up to round out the 1 o'clock slate, the Pukers, undefeated and in Indy to take on the Yellowstones. The Fighting Yellowstones, 1-2, good for second place in the AFC South since Jacksonville and Tennessee are both winless. Colts, Squealers, Bishop.
Look, I love Stones, love Yellowstones.
It's a great man.
He's one of the great men. He's very thorough.
Good man.
Unlike you, I hate Pittsburgh. I know you have a great affinity for Pittsburgh. I hate Pittsburgh.
Nacho Town, USA.
Yeah, I have no interest ever
Both
going
can
there
Pittsburgh
again.
Peepaw.
Right off of the bridge, kids. Right off.
Pittsburgh Peepaw.
I hate doing it. It's just the worst ever matchup for that quarterback. So I have Pittsburgh. Give me the Steelers winning a gross one, 10-2.
Steelers, 2, Saints, 0, or Colts, 0.
Yep, I know which game it is. We move to the 4 o'clock slate. Patriots visiting the Niners. Patriots 1-2 have not looked good after that first week 1 win over the Bengals. 49ers, everybody and their brothers injured on the San Francisco 49ers. The Fighting Pedros hosting New England Zagura.
I mean, he's going to be out for months.
Dude,
Barstool is now
It's
taking up what
ridiculous.
I've said that he doesn't care about. I think there is some responsibility.
I agree. It's absurd.
I know. My broadcast partner does not.
He believes in the sanctity of the shield.
Apparently he does. He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That number is so enormous. It seems unfathomable. Then again, New England was not able to get any of like a first down against the Jets, but I still think that they're going to find a way to. Niners 30, Pats 20.
Nate. Had to do the math.
Yes.
How dare
Yes,
you?
Father,
Kyle's a genius. Watch me drink my coffee. I'll get you a Spumoni, which is ice cream.
No, it's really not.
The
Although I
two
did have a
gentlemen in this
Spumoni
room
bomb.
with me are like, what's he doing?
Nerd,
They haven't encountered Pedro yet.
coffee.
Nate, I'm currently in mourning over the shutting down of the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Nerd.
Was that sad for you?
It actually was.
When I saw that, I was like, this sucks.
My dad and I had one of the more, what I would call kind of like emotional texts that we've ever exchanged. Just kind of going back like all of our favorite memories from different games and moments and things that we did at the Coliseum. Yeah, it's really sad actually. It's crazy to me to think that the college conference that I grew up loving is defunct.
Yep.
The A's are gone. I mean, and for the city of Oakland, the A's are gone, the Raiders are gone, and the Warriors went to San Francisco.
That's right.
I mean,
you know why? You know what? For young Nate, for Pedro, for Carney Lansford, and
Carney
Walt Weiss,
Lansford, Terry
and
Steinbach.
Bob Welch, and Terry Steinbach, and Tony Phillips, and Dave Henderson, and Jose Canseco, and Mark McGuire, Mike Gallego, and Dave Stewart, and Dennis Eckersley.
Dave Stewart got a lot of talk in our
Niners
chat.
by $1 billion.
Dave Stewart.
Intense.
I don't know if people will remember this or not, but there was a multi-year stretch
kids
where
don't.
Dave Stewart dominated Roger Clemens head-to-head in the playoffs every single year.
I remember it well.
The
All right,
Rockets.
boys. Time to go rapid
Niners
fire
by
here.
$1 billion.
Also at 4 o'clock, Washington. Big winner on Monday night. The talk of the league this week, Jalen Daniels. Daniels traveling to take on Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. Should be a very fun game. Wish we could watch that.
I would love to watch this game. I think this one's going to be full of
Bo
fireworks.
Bishop.
I think it's really good. I could see Arizona winning this game, but close, 35-32.
Who's not saying that, though? Right after they just
I
beat
feel like
the Bengals.
most would be saying that potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I feel
You know,
like we've
Cards by
talked
$1
about it
billion.
already. The Cards so good at home when the refs aren't taking pick sixes from the fluid one off the board. I like the Cards. I like what Drew Petzing has been doing. I like the whole operation. Marv, Michael Wilson. I don't know if they're going to have McBride, but I do like Arizona. All good things must come to an end. Washington is not going to score on every possession.
every drive.
Not going to happen. Cardinals get it done in a barn burner, 40-36. 40-36.
Up next, it is the game of the week on CBS. Should be us, but it's not. The Kansas City Chiefs somehow finding a way to stay on
Washington, Arizona should be
3-0.
the game of the week, honestly. And this time,
Chiefs are at the Chargers.
What are we going to do about
Angeles.
Herbert in this?
Great question.
Do you think this is this?
I
to
think
me say he's not playing.
I think he is playing.
You think he is playing, and this is the.
So he
this is
said
what
that
they
he
think?
was. Yeah.
That much? Have they seen Kansas City play?
I mean, they don't beat people by much.
I got Kansas City winning. If he plays, close. If he doesn't, less close.
Same. I'll go with that. So if Herbert plays,
Yep.
Chargers. If Herbert does not play,
Yep.
Chiefs.
All right, to primetime Sunday night foosball, Buffalo at Baltimore. Sunday night football, Bo Bishop.
I think this is one where people look at this and they go, Buffalo's the best team in football. What could possibly go wrong? Why would they have any trouble in Baltimore? They're annihilating everybody. I don't understand this. I don't understand why the scores think that Baltimore should be winning this game, and then this is exactly the type of game Baltimore does win. So I got Baltimore winning this one 31-28.
I don't want them to win this game.
I don't either. But
I don't know why.
Who isn't thinking that, though? Who
Why-
isn't thinking Buffalo?
Nobody.
Right.
They're getting. Sometimes it might just be that simple. I'm
Maybe.
going with it. Josh Allen's playing the best football of anybody, I think, on the planet right now. I'm going with it. Give me the Bills to not only go into Baltimore and play them close, but to win. To win. They're going to throw caution to the wind.
All right, we got to go here. We really have to go.
Dusty Daniels.
They're not going to fly with that.
Monday Night Football doubleheader. No, but
No,
have
we
to
don't have
get
We
to
don't have to do
Monday night.
Monday.
We just
Relax.
have to do our game.
Relax.
Oh, that's right.
You're good. You're safe.
Gee, man.
You're safe,
I'm
pal.
just going down the list. It's
He's
my
too
fault.
busy-
No, it's my
he's
fault.
too
I didn't
busy
proof it. It's
printing
my
out
fault.
pictures.
Gee, man.
My
Sad,
fault.
sad. Browns
the
by
money
$1 billion. Go win. Go win.
Got it. You've got to. You have got to win this football game. You have got to win this football game. The alternative is not tenable.
No.
So you've got to win this football game.
I won't be here Monday if it goes the other way. I'll be in Detroit hosting Lions Daily.
DLD.
Back to
Getting ready
DLD.
for the
They'll bring
Monday
me back.
Nighter
Getting
and
ready.
and the black unis.
That's exactly
Oh,
right.
man.
Fly well, gentlemen. Fly
Whoa,
well.
whoa.
Whoa.
Little late breaking news.
Go.
It's sent to me from Andrew Siciliano, Vic Taffer, who covers the
Taffer.
Raiders. Taffer, who covers the Raiders for The Athletic.
Yep.
Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, Divine Diablo, Thayer Munford, and Michael Meyer all out against the Browns. No Devontae Adams.
No excuses.
No Max Crosby.
Browns by $1 billion.
No excuses.
Get it done.
No survivors.
Fly safe.
Thank you.
Bubba Ventrone coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Dog Pound, dig into Wendy's new Browns Biggie Bundle all season long. Score a junior bacon cheeseburger, 4-piece nuggets, junior fries, small soft drink, and small Frosty for just $7. Here we go, brownies. Grab one from any participating Wendy's for a limited time. We head back to the podium. Presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. It is special teams coordinator Bubba Ventrone.
The Raiders.
You're down.
Been doing it for a while. How good are they?
Yeah, both very talented. Carlson and Cole, Carlson has range. He's very accurate. He's been doing it. He's been doing it at a high level for a number of years now out in Vegas, and Cole is a game changer. He can truly flip the field. He's very good directionally. He's got a strong leg. Controls the ball well. Really, really, both good players that they have. Yeah, Tony jinxed us. That's no good. Yeah, we got to find a way to connect on that. He didn't hit a terrible ball on that, so we'll try to get that corrected this week.
So you guys were able to create a turnover right off the bat on that, causing the fumble on it. Just how much do you guys work on that specific skill during practice when you're working kickoff?
Yeah, so with the kickoff play, it's always relative to who you're going against, obviously your personnel, and the game plan changes as the game goes along. There's times where you're looking to generate a return and force a return, and there's other times where you're not. In that instance, in that specific game, we wanted to force early. That's not going to be the case every week, but just being able to get to the ball and priority on putting a hat to the ball when we can and swarming to the football. So I think the entire unit did a good job on number one, getting to the returner, and then finding a way to get the ball out and get it back, put our offense in a good spot.
I think every game you've been consistent. Your first kickoff, you choose to defend the play rather than kick it out of the end zone.
It's week to week. It really is. It's week to week. So.
Him as a punt returner, it seems to me like that's one of the most difficult jobs, to catch the ball and knowing you're going to get creamed. So what makes him so good at what he does?
Yeah, I would say James is very instinctive. He tracks and judges the ball extremely well. He's got good hands. And I think he just understands, and he does a really good job of preparing. He studies punters, and obviously tracks the ball well in the air, and he's done a good job. He's been a solid player for us, and made a nice play at the end of the game there in the plus 50 situation to get the block, to save a bunch of yards and put our offense in a better spot than we would have been had he not, made that block on the gunner.
Fortunate to lose Wyatt in a situation like that, and just the state of flux of the linemen. How is that impacting you?
Yeah, so I mean, he was a great player for me. Obviously, he was on that unit. We'll replace him in some way and get that field goal unit back up and rolling. But no, Wyatt, great teammate, tough kid, tough guy.
Did DeWine just lose his footing on that? It looked like he kind of got pushed back and fell into Wyatt.
Yeah, the footwork wasn't to our standards. We'll have to clean that up.
The coverage units kind of develop over these first few games as you're getting used to the kickoff rules and how things are kind of going week to week?
Yeah, so in both punt and kickoff, or just kickoff? Yeah, I think we, after that first game, after the first week, we felt like we needed to improve in some areas, and I feel like we've addressed those, and we're going to continue to improve. And it really comes down to the fundamentals of the play, understanding your leverage, understanding how you're being blocked, recognizing their leverage and what they're trying to do in their scheme. So, always going to just keep coaching both of those units up that way.
I was watching the Monday Nighter. The Bengals tried that onside kick. What do you think of this new? Yeah, I mean, it was tough before, but now the new onside kick. What
Well, it actually is it's really the same because you declare for it and then it goes back to how it was. It goes back to the previous rules. I'm trying to remember what they did on that kick. I think they hit like the high hopper. Yeah, they hit the high hopper on that. Yeah, I mean, look, I always say like if you're kicking an onside kick, you didn't do enough earlier in the game to put yourself in a spot to not kick an onside kick. So, I'm not in favor of really changing that play. I don't think that you should have a chance to just get back in the game after you didn't do enough earlier in the game to do so.
How many onside kicks are there?
Varieties? Well, I will say this. So last week we inducted into the legends Phil Dawson. When we would line up on our onside kick unit when Phil was here and Brad Sealy was the coordinator, we called it the Dawson six-pack, and he had 6 onside kicks that he would hit, and he would give a signal, and he would make the call on the field, and he'd be able to place the ball or hit a specific type of ball to a certain area, and that's how we played it. And so it was really like a check with me.
Gonna be dipping out here.
I think we actually we did. We had shirts made that said the Dawson six-pack on them. So
you're up.
All right, there you go. Special teams coordinator Bubba Ventrone from the podium from yesterday. Your Browns game day coverage Sunday on the University Hospital's Cleveland Browns radio network at 12:30 will be Browns game day. Ken Carman and Gerard Cherry. Then 2:30 the Browns kickoff show with Andy Baskin and Tyvis Powell. Then 4:25 kickoff from Allegiant Stadium with Andrew, Z, and Gerard on that. Buckeyes and Michigan State Saturday night as well. Enjoy your football weekend, everybody. Thanks for listening. Cleveland Browns Daily 850 ESPN Cleveland.
You've been